Today, we've seen tents pitched at both UW-Madison and UW-Milwaukee, challenging university policies. Tonight, we have team coverage. Emily Fannin is at the scene of the UW-Madison protest.
We start with Stephanie Rodriguez, who's live at UW-Milwaukee for us tonight. And Steph, what's going on out there right now?
It's been hours since students set up camp here outside of Mitchell Hall to show support for Palestine, and they tell me they're going to stay out here as long as they have to until UW-Milwaukee takes a stance.
Because we are out here doing something.
It started with a rally cry at Golda Meir Library.
Loud enough for Palestine to hear you!
That quickly flooded the streets in front of UW-Milwaukee. Ending with students pitching tents on campus, and they say this is just the beginning.
So if they can look away at the genocide, they can look away at the occupation, they can look away at our encampment.
Students say they won't leave until their demands are met. They want UW-Milwaukee to cut ties with Israel. This includes stopping business with Israeli companies and removing their Israel student exchange program.
This is what the Milwaukee community wants. This is what the Milwaukee students want.
This encampment is part of the UWM Popular University for Palestine Coalition.
It's a national coordinated mass movement of students, teachers, faculty, staff, and alumni dedicated to pressure our universities to divest and disclose all connections to the Zionist state of Israel.
UW-Milwaukee says campus police are monitoring the encampment, which violates Chapter 18 of the Wisconsin Administrative Code. But students are prepared to spend days outside and are counting on community support from people who say they'll bail students out of jail if necessary.
So we're going to form the human chain around them to make sure that if the cops try to arrest the students, they won't. We want to make sure the students are safe. We're also making sure that they're fed properly, that they have access to their needs.
UWM said Monday they echo the calls for an end to the violence and that they've been steadfast in respecting their right to free speech while also maintaining their core mission of providing a safe and welcoming environment for students, employees, and visitors.
Free Palestine.
But students say this isn't enough and they won't give up.
We're going to keep the movement going until Palestine is free.
What you're looking at right now is a human chain that they formed so students in the middle that identify with the Muslim faith can pray. They also are anticipating a police response today, and as you heard in my story, they do plan to form a human chain around students during that as well. We'll have more tonight at 9 and 10 from Adam Reif, who's here monitoring the situation. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. A large group of demonstrators was out early today at UW-Madison setting up their tents at Library Mall. CBS 58 Capitol correspondent Emily Fannin is live in Madison. Emily, set the scene for us right now.
Mike, we've been out here all day, and overall things have remained very peaceful, but there are some concerns things could escalate after university officials and police warned students to not set up these encampments behind me. Now, as you heard Stephanie stress, encampments are in violation of the school's protest policy, which has really been the focal point of these protests occurring across the U.S. as they've led to a series of arrests on college campuses. So far, UW-Madison police tell me they have made 0 arrests, but they continue to have a presence here to monitor things throughout the day. Earlier, hundreds of pro-Palestinian protesters formed a human wall around nearly a dozen of tents that have been set up here, and it comes after campus officials warned students last week that disobeying protest policies can and will have consequences. Still, student activists are determined and say they have no plans to leave until their demands are met. Meanwhile, some students who I talked to, and they wanted to remain anonymous, say they're frustrated with the protests, especially with graduation right around the corner.
The point of this is to show that we will not forget about what's happening, we will not go away, and we care very deeply and will fight to make sure that this university ends its complicity in the utter horror that is happening right now in Gaza.
I don't like it at all, to be completely honest. I mean, it's just like it's an affront to the campus, and it's an affront to, I don't know, just the West in general. Essentially, that's what this is. This is a protest against the West.
Campus police plan to be out here all night to monitor things, but as for removing these encampments, that remains to be the big question. Now, we've reached out to university officials and UW campus police, and they have not got back to us with what those plans will be going forward throughout the night. Reporting live on UW-Madison's campus, Emily Fannin, CBS 58 News.